Welcome to the first CU Pickleball Club Early Bird Intro and AMA. I'm Tim Montague, the owner and developer of the CU PC, as I call it. I started on this journey, 3 years ago, thanks to John Rector. Shout out to John. He's recovering from heart surgery right now. If you know John, send him some flowers or a card. He really appreciates that. And I grew up playing racket sports, tennis, ping pong, racquetball. I was also a soccer player. I was an average tennis player. I'm an above average pickleball player, I like to think. So it's breathed new life into my sporting life, and I really appreciate that. I was doing distance running for many years prior to playing pickleball, and 2 years ago, I gave up distance running because I was so enthusiastic about playing pickleball. It's so fun. It's great exercise. It's a great community. And I, again, thank you all for being here. It's a privilege. Today, I am going to just give you a quick overview of the club and the membership model, some of the programming that we're going to be offering, and hopefully answer your questions. We should be done in 30 to 45 minutes. We are recording this session, and I will post the recording as well, so you can share that with your friends. You see in the background, I've had an artist do a nice 3D rendering. This is really what the club is going to look like. And that's pretty cool. I stand on the shoulders of many people in Champaign-Urbana, and I'm so grateful. But John Rector, who's one of my best friends, introduced me to the sport of pickleball hands-on. I have an aunt also in Chicagoland who is an avid player for many, many years. She's aging out of the sport, unfortunately, now, but and that's one of my only few regrets in life is not getting into pickleball sooner. I'm 59, and while I am playing and competing, I feel the force of gravity. I am fighting gravity every day. But I have so many great friends and community members here in Champaign that have inspired me to develop the CUPC. So thank you all. Thank you, John. And I realized about 2 years ago that we needed more indoor pickleball opportunities in Champaign-Urbana. We have some great hybrid facilities in the park districts in both Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy. Savoy was the early mover. And those are wonderful facilities on gym floors. What we really avid players want is a hard surface or a tennis surface. And so I'm developing a club that is going to have a Lakehold tennis surface. Lakehold is kind of the Cadillac of tennis surfaces. The building, which I'm going to show you a little bit about, has a concrete slab floor, and then we are installing what is called Cushion Plus. It's a 9-layer cushion surface, but it feels like a tennis court. It'll feel very similar to playing on an asphalt pickleball court. So that's one of the features of the CUPC, is that we are designing and building a facility that meets very high standards for surface, for space, for fencing, and for lighting. And as you'll see, I've been working with some experts in the field, primarily John's Design and Consulting, the JDC as we call it. The JDC is a joint venture between Ben and Colin Johns. Ben Johns is the #1 male pickleball player in the world, and he has developed a partnership with Yola, which is a well-known paddle manufacturer, first known for table tennis, But I've been working with JDC thanks to a colleague in Detroit who turned me on to JDC. So JDC is helping clubs around the country build high-quality indoor pickleball clubs, or indoor-outdoor. And then I am working with a technology platform called PodPlay, which allows us to operate autonomously or semi-autonomously 24/7, 365. So you will be able to play at the CUPC any day of the year, any hour of the day. And that's really cool. It is noteworthy that Pickleball Kingdom is now using PodPlay. Pickleball Kingdom is the largest pickleball franchise in the United States. So that's validation that this platform really works. And so far, so good. I also want to give a shout out to Ross Smith, who will be our head of pickleball. Ross is a well-known tennis and pickleball instructor in the area. And we will have a variety of coaches at the CUPC. I myself am a PPR certified coach now. And if you're interested in coaching, please reach out to me. I highly encourage you to get PPR certified. Ross is PPR certified. It is the main certifying body for pickleball coaches in the United States. It's not hard to get certified, and there are levels. So I've achieved the lowest level, and I'm on that journey. I love sharing my knowledge and experience with others in all of the walks of life that I make. We are also developing a community advisory board for the CUPC. This is very much a community effort, and I want to make a shout out to Brandon Boswell, Walt Farchman, and Don Block, who are our official ambassadors for the club. I am still looking for a few additional ambassadors, especially women. So do not be surprised if somebody comes and taps you on the shoulder. But if you are interested in becoming an ambassador, please reach out to me or any of the other gentlemen here. And I just want to acknowledge that, we all stand on so many shoulders. Like Don Block has been a real force in the community. And you see Tyrus there in the right playing at Pickler in Bloomington. Tyrus has been a drilling partner of mine for the last 6 months. Just great guy. Thank you, Tyrus. Really appreciate your passion for the sport. And guys like Tim Brummett, you see here in the lower corner, his wife, Jo, David there on the gold medal stand from, I don't know, this is maybe a few years ago. And Brenda and Stu, also very active pickleball community members. So thank you all for doing what you do and helping others come into the sport. I'm still relatively new in the sport, but here I am developing a club because we need a dedicated hard surface indoor pickleball club in Champaign. All of the communities around us are getting them. There's a place called Premier in Springfield. Check it out. Bloomington just opened a Pickler. And the CUPC will be opening in August of 2025, if all goes well. So you have probably noticed our social media campaign, and we're getting early bird members to put their name on the list. We will be offering a 20% discount to 50 early bird members when we launch our membership sales. That will happen 90 days prior to our opening. Because the CUPC is a 4 indoor court, 2 outdoor court club, we have to limit membership to 300 members. It will be open to the public. Anyone can rent a court at the CUPC, like I said, 24/7. But members will have special privileges like 2 weeks advanced reservations, discounts on programming, and so forth. And if you play pickleball more than, say, 4 times a month, it will make good financial sense for you to become a member. But we won't push membership on anyone. We don't need to. The club will sell out, and then it will be it'll be hard to get a court. And so that's front and center for me as well. I want to develop a larger club, and I am looking for a facility or a green field. And we have a variety of discussions going on about that too. So just know that I'm not settling for the CUPC. I am on a journey to becoming a pickleball developer locally and nationally, but first and foremost locally. I believe that Champaign-Urbana can support 30 indoor pickleball clubs. It is still early days for this sport. We have massive growth of the sport, of course, in the U.S. It is the fastest growing sport in the United States for the last several years. And we have about a 10-year run for the facilities. The facilities are playing catch up now, both outdoor and indoor. And we have, really a handful of good outdoor facilities now in Champaign-Urbana, especially Centennial Park, otherwise known as John Street. And that has 8 outdoor courts. That is going to soon be 16 courts. Soon is relative. We don't know when exactly that's going to happen. Maybe by 2026. I hope so. But here in Illinois, we have real winter. We also have very hot, humid summers. And so we need space-conditioned indoor pickleball courts. This is what the club is going to look like. And so there's one row of 3 courts you see there on the left, upper left. All the courts are separated by 4-foot-tall, black-coated chain link fence, which is very similar to what you see at John Street. I like the blue and blue court and kitchen, and then a gray out of bounds. We may actually go to a blue out of bounds, a blue the same color as the main service box. I have consulted with USA Pickleball on color schemes, and less is more in the field of racket sports. The human brain does not deal well with color change, and fatigue will set in if there's too much color going on in your field of view. So we want the court to be a great playing experience for all levels of player, from beginner to professional, and everything in between. If you haven't been to the website, please check it out at cupickle.com, and that's where you can get on the early bird list. And just by getting on the list, all you're doing is giving us an email and a phone number. We will email you and text you when that 90-day clock starts running. And I wish I could offer a deep discount to more than 50 members, but 60% of our revenue will come from memberships. So we are a member-first club, and we are not a country club. That has been a consideration, but I want to make the club more accessible than a country club model, where you would have an initiation fee. I'm not going there as of yet. I'm hoping that we can fund the club and grow a profitable, I call it a fitness club. It's a pickleball fitness club. And I have a little bit more about that fitness piece. But here's the building at 705 North Country Fair Drive. Elevate is the attraction at this facility currently. It was originally built as the tile company and a YMCA. So the Elevate portion of this building is 26,000 square feet. And our portion here towards the street is 16,000 square feet, a 12,000 square foot warehouse that has 20-foot ceilings, which is really a minimum requirement for pickleball indoors. And then we are also building in phase 2 outdoor courts here in the Greenway, right towards the road. We have consulted with the city of Champaign, and they like that idea. So we're excited about that as well. Here's a schematic showing that. 4 indoor courts here in the warehouse. The warehouse is currently built out as an office space. So the construction project is quite a project, but it's totally doable. And I've been working with Andrew Fell, a local architect who's done a wonderful job designing this. We are also working with Dodds & Company as our general contractor. But this is what you can expect at the CUPC. So the main entrance is right here. We are currently not planning to renovate the office space. We will have a pro shop. We will have some fitness spaces. There's a party room here with a kitchen. There's a nice patio. We can have food trucks pull up here or here in the loading dock for events. Rentals for special events and corporate events and birthday parties is a thing. And we will certainly be doing that. And it's a great first indoor club here in Champaign. We do need a bigger facility eventually, and we aim to achieve that. When I say a pickleball fitness club, this is what I'm talking about. There is a company called RFX, Racket Fitness Experience, out of New York City that is growing a program similar to Orange Fitness and using a Foursquare net. You see a grayed out image of that Foursquare net here, and it's a combination of HIIT, high intensity training, and pickleball. And so that will be an offering of ours here at the CUPC. I am a fitness buff myself. I go to the gym several times at the Leonard Center every week and work out in the weight room there. I love the track. And of course, I love the indoor gym there, where I also play pickleball on the basketball floor. So this is what you have all been waiting for, I think. Like, the most common questions we get are, when are you opening? And what are you going to charge? We plan to charge $99 a month for unlimited play. Pickler in Bloomington is $120 a month. So we are being competitive, and the early bird rate is a 20% discount off that. So the first 50 members will get a 20% discount, $79 a month. We will limit membership to 300 members, and then we will have drop-in court rentals for anyone 24/7, obviously with limitations to they can only reserve 24 hours in advance, and they'll be limited to what is available. So if you play more than 3 or 4 times a week, 4 times a month, it will behoove you to become a paying member. We will have a huge variety of programming at the CUPC, including leagues, clinics, coaching, and tournaments. I myself have been competing in tournaments regionally in Illinois and look forward to doing more of that. Shout out to Gabe Hines and Carla Rodriguez, my current men's and mixed partners. Really enjoy playing with you guys and competing with you as well. And I feel very strongly about having a good variety of programming. Coaching is in high demand, and this is something that all indoor clubs experience, and it's very important. So if you're a coach or an aspiring coach, we welcome you. The PodPlay app makes it very easy for members to find a coach, book a court / session with a coach. So just know that. PodPlay is what is going to give you, it's going to be how you sign up to be a member, how you reserve courts for playing, or sign up for a program like Open Play. Oh, I forgot that on this slide. Of course, we're going to have Open Play 6 or 7 days a week, mornings and evenings. My bad. It's been quite a hustle getting this deck together, but I like this triangle at the bottom. It's about community, it's about fitness and competition, and it's about enjoying life and playing and having fun. And that is the great thing about pickleball, is pretty much anybody with a modicum of athletic ability can play pickleball, but it's a long journey to master the sport. It is a difficult sport to become an expert in. And so it's fun for all ages and all abilities and even competitive athletes. And that's what I love about it. But you see here in the right, this checklist, right? Dedicated indoor courts, proper court surface, a hard tennis surface by Lakehold, a very pickleball-oriented club. We will also have a ping pong table. We will have bags. We may even have a driving simulator. We have quite a bit of office space. We have about 4,000 square feet of office space. So there will be other forms of fitness and entertainment at the club, which we have not spent a lot of time yet figuring out. We're very focused on getting the club going. So at this time, I would encourage you to put questions in the chat, and I will do my best to answer those questions. I do get a lot of questions via email and text, and I try to answer all of those, but forgive me if I've missed your question. I am a little bit on overload at the moment, but if you have questions, put them in the Q&A, and I will answer them live. Good question. We have a question about the Community Advisory Board. What is the role of the Community Advisory Board? First and foremost, they're ambassadors for the club. They are volunteers who will spend time at the club and promoting the club outside of the club, answering questions for new members and prospective members, making sure that open plays are running smoothly. We are a low staff, no staff model, so we will have staff on site during crowded events like open plays. You know, there might be 30 plus people in the club during an open play. So we will have staff during those hours. But that's the gist of it. Is we want the ambassadors to be our antennae in the community, talking to members and prospective members and other players and other stakeholders about what they like and what they would like to see different or added to the club. I'm only one person. I know many people in Champaign. I've lived here since 2008, but it helps to have a group of people who are also players. All of the Community Advisory Board members are avid pickleball players. Question from Boomer. Have you checked out any available space near the base in Rantoul? You know, I am sure there is a ton of space in Rantoul, and I don't doubt that eventually Rantoul will have a dedicated indoor pickleball club. It's not my top priority. I know that they have that amazing multiplex, sportsplex that the Park District has developed, where they host, you know, all kinds of tournaments, including soccer and baseball and softball. I want to find a location in Champaign-Urbana that will be central to the core population here as my second project. But I would be happy to advise or partner with somebody if they had a connection to Rantoul. I do think that Rantoul will get a dedicated indoor club eventually. And then Brian asks, have you checked out, sorry, I'm catching up with the Q&A here. Brian asks, are you going to be looking for some help prior to opening? Yeah, I welcome a conversation about volunteerism and resources. So, we are bootstrapping this project, and it's a heavy lift, but I do welcome conversations about how you might get involved. So reach out to me. I'm not hard to find. I'm very easy to find on LinkedIn. That is my primary place for social media, but I have started channels for the club on Facebook and Instagram. So yes, Brian, please connect with me. My phone number is on the website, and it's right here on this slide. So reach out to me at 217-722-0429 or via email, tim@pickleproadvisors.com. Pickle Pro Advisors is my development company, and the club is cupickle.com. Tracy asks, I'm new to the sport. What if you don't have a partner or opponent? Well, this is why we have a variety of programming happening, mostly via the park districts, Tracy. Don Block, for example, is leading a bunch of clinics at the Leonard Center in Champaign. The Leonard Center is an indoor recreation facility. It has a big gym, basketball, volleyball, pickleball. It has a weight room. It has other programming, but Don is hosting clinics for beginners and a variety of other clinics. He has clinics for children. I have been a volunteer instructor for Don's clinics. And then there are a variety of open plays. So check out your local park district, whether that's Savoy, Champaign, or Urbana. There are open plays at all of those facilities, and you can just show up. That is one of the beautiful things about pickleball. You show up with a paddle, and you can start playing. And if you don't know how to find the park district, just Google it. and then go to the website and search on pickleball. Because, for example, at Leonard Center, where I go mostly in the winter, they have pickleball 5 days a week from 6 a.m. to noon. Sometimes 3 courts, sometimes 6 courts. And sometimes there's, 40 people playing pickleball there. So there's a healthy community. And then Savoy has some morning and midday and evening hours for pickleball. Savoy was an early mover. They have 4 indoor courts in their gym. So whatever suits your lifestyle, you can find pickleball there in Savoy. And then Urbana has a new health and wellness facility where they have indoor pickleball. I have not been to that facility yet, but I hear good things about it. And I'm sure they have open plays. Open play is kind of the lifeblood of, this is how you get introduced to the sport and meet people, and then eventually you can, make friends and organize your own games. And it's a both and, I like to say, where you will participate in open plays, but also then participate in other types of events, whether it's a private game or a drilling session, which is just practicing. I do that a lot with a small group of people like Tyrus and Carla. Hope that helps, Tracy. We have an anonymous question about guests. As a member, can you bring guests? The answer is yes. I don't have a definitive number of guest passes that you will get as a member, but you will be able to bring guests. It's very important for guests to be able to come and check out the club, and open plays will be very affordable, like $15 for 2 or 3 hours of open play for non-members. And then members, I think our current plan is for members to have that be included in their membership. So open play will be very affordable. Our current pricing, I think, for rentals is $20 an hour for drop-in rentals. Pickler charges $30 an hour. They do have a special running for $30 for a month. So you can kind of check it out for as much, and we will probably do something like that as well. So thank you for that question. That's a good one. Yeah, there's a question about the seating area there. That area is about 1,500 square feet. So it's plenty adequate. And then there is a 4-foot walkway. I will, let me go back to the layout. So what I'm talking about, this is the seating area here, this triangle. This is 1,500 square feet. And then there's a walkway. So there'll be benches along this walkway, and then high top tables and benches in this area. So there will be plenty of seating. And then there'll be other seating in here in the party room / kitchen, but obviously not for viewing. I didn't talk much about this, but the co-location with Elevate is definitely a strength of this location. A lot of families with children are used to going to Elevate, and we will have somewhat of a captive audience there. So that's a good thing about our location. Good question about seating. Thank you, William. And another anonymous question, will we have a family membership package? Our current thinking is that we will offer a 10% discount for additional family members. So $99 for the first member, and then like $89 for the second member, and then $79 for the third member, and so on. We're trying to keep the membership model very simple. Some clubs have very complicated models, which make my head spin. And I want it to be easy to understand. So that's the reason for that. There's no perfect way. And literally, if you visit 10 different clubs, you will find 10 different membership programs. So there are many, many ways to skin this cat. Some clubs have like 4 different levels of membership, from bronze to platinum. I just find that to be very complicated. And I wanted, and this is with guidance from JDC / Yola, who work with clubs all over the country. And that's, of course, one of the advantages of having them on the team is they have experience in many geographies. What is the difference? Question from Tracy. What is the difference between a guest and a drop-in? Well, a guest is somebody who comes with a member. A drop-in is anybody who finds the club and rents a court as a drop-in member. So that's the basic difference. As a drop-in member, you are renting a court at $20 an hour. And it is going to be an awesome place to play pickleball. I play a lot in the winter at Savoy and Leonard Center, and it's great because it's icy and cold outside, like right now. I mean, it's brutal. We're having a real winter in Central Illinois this winter. So it's great to have those hybrid facilities, as I call them. But when you go to an outdoor court like John Street, or to an indoor court or indoor facility like Pickler or Premier, and play on that real tennis surface, it's such a breath of fresh air. The ball bounces much better on a tennis surface than it does on a wood gym or a rubber gym floor. You can totally play and learn and enjoy pickleball in a gym. But there is, I would argue, probably a 20% difference in the experience. It's a big difference. And so once you really start to play a lot, and especially if you're trying to compete or competing, not trying, but competing, you want a hard surface like we're going to have here at the CUPC, and that's why the surface is so important. I'd love to get a few more questions. I'm not attached to keeping you guys any longer. It's 7:40. I really appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to sign up on the early bird list at cupickle.com. Text me with your questions or email me. I will respond. And again, thank you so much. I have a couple more questions I will take now. Can you rent paddles and balls at the club? Oh, for sure. We'll have a bunch of paddles that you can just use, and then we will have trial paddles of brand, higher end paddles that you can loan and try out. So, and then there'll be buckets and buckets of balls around. No worries. You don't have to bring a ball. There'll be balls. That's the easy part. Good question, though. Question from Brian about leagues. How soon after we open do we anticipate starting leagues? I would venture, I don't have a hard schedule yet, but within a month or two of opening. We need to give our members some time to get a feel for the place before we start asking them to sign up for leagues. But I am very fond of this concept. I have not participated in a league. But you can imagine the way leagues are run, they're run by level. So we'll have a 3-0, a 3-5, a 4-0, and maybe a 4-5 plus league. So 4 levels. They run for like 6 weeks. It's a round robin. So you're getting to play against everybody, but you're in a group of players that are at or near your level. And that's quite important in pickleball. Somebody asks, what is the best brand of ball to use indoor? There's no best brand. There's half a dozen brands of balls. The most popular brand is the Franklin X40. So check that out. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Franklin. You can get it at Pickleball Central. You can get it at Dick's Sporting Goods. But there's many brands. There are many brands, many acceptable brands. Of course, all the manufacturers are trying to be approved by USA Pickleball. So, but for some reason, the Franklin X40 has floated to the top here regionally in Illinois as the most popular ball when you're playing on a hard surface. For indoor, you play with a different ball. I don't know if that's a Franklin ball that we see at Savoy or Leonard. I haven't looked at the label. It is interesting how different the indoor and outdoor balls are. All right, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Community Advisory Board. Thank you to my friends and family who have supported me on this journey. And with that, I'm Tim Montague. Let's play more pickleball. Have a great evening, everyone.